This is John T for the Boxing Voice, and I'm joined this evening by Commonwealth light middleweight champion JJ Metcalf. JJ, how are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. Thanks.
Good. What have you been up to today? Training?
Yeah, it's been training this morning in the afternoon. Done a walk now.
Yeah, fair play. A bit of a warm down, yeah. How's the news landed that you're on this big Eddie Hearn card? I bet you're chuffed, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm made up. Yeah. I was hoping to get on these type of shows earlier in my career, but it hasn't worked out. So I'm made up now. It's finally happening.
Yeah, I bet you are. You got the big card as well, because Dillian Whyte, that's the box office one. So out of the, I think there's 4 or 5 cards. Out of all of them, this is definitely the main one, and you're joint chief support on that. So fighting Ted Cheeseman for the British title to add to your Commonwealth. But before I come on to that, you have been on some big cards already. I think you fought on a Tyson Fury undercard at the MEN. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it was his first fight back when he first came back after his his Klitschko fight.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was on the Safari undercard. How did you find that whole experience being on a Fury card?
Yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got to watch him after it as well. We had a great fight, but the crowd and all that were made up.
Yeah, they would be up there. He's from that part of the neck of the woods, so he would have had a good loyal support there. But you've also been out on a couple of other big cards. Speaking of someone with loyal support. Yeah, exactly. You've been on 2 of those at the First Direct Arena, so that must have been a good experience as well, yeah?
Yeah, it was, yeah. The first time I boxed there, I was boxing a local lad, and they were sort of against me, but it was like they got behind me on the second time I was up there, so it was good.
Yeah, if you fought there before, they'd probably adopt you a little bit. It's not far, Liverpool to Leeds. I'm sure for a night they can sort of like support the Liverpool people, so that's good. And look, you've got a really good record for anyone who doesn't know you. You're now up to 21-0. You know, that's superb CV there. Does it bug you a little bit, JJ, that you maybe don't get the publicity that some of the other fighters do around your weight, like Ted, for example?
It doesn't frustrate me, you know. Maybe I should have got a bit more publicity, but a lot of that's been down to, been stop-start, a lot of my career, a couple of injuries, a couple of people pulling out on me, and a couple of cards falling through. Well,
before I come on to some of your recent fights,
I think everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, fair enough. Before I come on,
I think everything happens for a reason. I just think it's going to sort of explode now.
Yeah, well, look, you're probably a fight or 2 away from it exploding. You don't get a bigger platform than a box office Matchroom, and fighting Ted Cheeseman, who's very popular and well supported as well. Before I come on to that fight, am I right in saying that your dad, it's in the blood, boxing, your dad's Shea Neary, is that right?
It is, yeah, he's there.
Hey, hello, Shea. How are you, mate? You're right. That's a pleasure for me to have him on there. So yeah, for anyone who's not aware, but I think most people are, Shea Neary was he light welterweight WBU champion?
Light welterweight, yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. That must be having great. That must be great having Dad in your corner for a bit of experience and guide you on these fights and that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't be where I am now if it weren't for him.
Fair enough. And it must be, I have to say it because I'm sure everybody else says it when they chat about it, but also famous for fighting Mickey Ward, which was dramatised in a fantastic Hollywood film with Mark Wahlberg and Christian Bale, which I'm sure many of our viewers have seen. So that's great. Well, look, nice to chat to Dad as well. Well, look, let's move on to the actual fight. You're fighting Ted Cheeseman for the British title to add to your Commonwealth. What do you expect to see from Ted on the night?
Yeah, I expect the best of Ted. I think he's going to be better than he's been in his previous fights. He's still young and he's still improving. So I think his last couple of fights, he's sort of gained momentum again now. So I think it's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, he showed in a couple of fights recently. A lot of people had Ted down as a come-forward fighter, and maybe when he stepped up to European level, some people said he got found out a little bit that night. But the subsequent fights since, he's fought off the back foot a little bit. Have you been impressed by that and shown a little bit more to his skills?
Yeah, a little bit. everyone sort of thinks I'm just a come forward fighter, but I can box as well. So no one really knows. Everyone's expecting a head-on clash, but I don't think it's going to be that way. Maybe after a couple of rounds it'll get like that, but it's going to be a bit of a chess match at first.
You must be a bit gutted that you can't get your friends and family there because it's going to be behind closed doors, right?
Yeah, I haven't had no information about that yet. I've heard they haven't set the venue, so I've heard it could go abroad, it could be in Wembley, so I don't think they put it in the likes of Wembley and that if there weren't going to be crowds, but it just depends on what the government comes up with, or I don't know, closer to the time, maybe we find out.
Yeah, you're right. Eddie hasn't actually announced venues. The fact it's in March probably suggests that fans won't be there if it is in the UK. I spoke to Fabio Wardley last night. He's on the card as well. And I mentioned that Dillian had mentioned that he wouldn't mind fighting abroad so he could have a crowd. So I don't think that's actually been ruled out yet. Whether the British fans and the Liverpool fans in particular can come and see you, that might still be tough with travel restrictions, but it would be great to have a crowd there.
Definitely,
yeah. Well, look, before I let you go, you're number 5 in the IBF. I think it's the IBF world ranking. So if this sort of like, if you do come through this and win this, it can move you up a little bit more. What are your thoughts about who the top people are in your division, JJ?
Yeah, I think it's Jamal Charlo, is it? He's the number 1 at the minute.
That's it.
But there's a few good fighters knocking around as well, like to the Lara. Even below them, there's Jared Hayden. There's a, to be honest, the super welterweight division, it's stacked. There's loads of fighters.
It is
Jack Kulkai, I think he's knocking about still as well. So
who was that? Sorry,
Jack Kulkai.
Yeah. Like you said, there's quite a few names there, and I think this is the defining night for both you and Ted. Whoever kind of comes through this will have British and Commonwealth honours. The next one has to really start going for European or world honours. So these are the fights that are there for the future should you come through and win.
Definitely, yeah.
All right, mate. Well, look, really good chatting to you. Before I do let you go, who's going to win on the actual main fight that night, do you think? Obviously, it's the rematch between White and Povetkin. It was a bit of a surprise for many people in the first fight. Dillian was doing really well and then got caught with that knockout. Do you think Dillian will learn from that and avenge that defeat, or do you think it might go the same way?
I can't rule Povetkin out though. After I thought it was over for him in that last fight, and then that was set up, that shot from earlier on, so can't rule him out.
Yeah, so heavyweights, aren't they? Yeah, and they're both top draw, fight banging on the door for world honours themselves. Whoever wins that, they'll be in a similar position to you and Ted. Well, look, I'll leave you to it with your walk with Dad. Nice to talk to Dad as well. What we'll probably try and do is get you on, JJ, the week of the fight or after, and maybe you might have both the belts to talk about, all right?
Yeah, brilliant, mate.
All right, JJ, have a good evening, mate. Catch you later.
Ta-ra, mate.
Bye-bye, mate.
Bye.
Enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.